Welcome to the first episode of Powered by the Middle Finger. I'm Mike Evans, the dude behind DIY RPG Productions. The DIY RPG disclaimer is in the links below. Alright, let's get the show started. So this is going to be a dev blog, vlog, whatever you want to call it. Basically, I thought it would be fun to talk about various things that I'm working on from a game design perspective. For this first episode of Dev Talk, I wanted to discuss my DIY RPG rules. It's going to be in several parts. I don't know how long it'll take me to get through all this, but I'll break it down into multiple chunks. And you can find a link to the free beta test rules in the description below. Free stuff! So the first thing we have to do before really getting into the rules themselves is take a look at something that really inspired me.
And that would be Leisure Suit Larry. Wet dreams don't dry.
I'm just kidding, you perverts. It's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you're a fan of video games, chances are there's a game that just really resonates for you. And Breath of the Wild just fucking does it for me.
Won't you come home, Franz Browder? Won't you come home?
But not in that way. The main thing that really inspired me with Breath of the Wild, and was, pun intended, a breath of fresh air, is its freedom. And it's more freeing than almost any other game I've ever played. If you haven't played Breath of the Wild and are looking for a fun game, I really do recommend it. Also, if you're looking for some really good reviews or retrospectives on it, there is also some links in the description below.
Lower. A lot lower. Too low. Lower.
I'm definitely going to go over these in more detail in future videos, but right now I just kind of want to cover the gist of what inspired me in Breath of the Wild.
Wake up, Link.
So to start, Link is told to wake his ass up, go out and save fucking Hyrule, and that's it. That's all you're given. You just get to start playing. No long-ass winded exposition. In today's video gaming world, that's a novel fucking concept. You know this has become an issue when you hear people saying that they don't have enough time to finish the tutorial in a game. Yeah, that's a thing. Red Dead Redemption 2 comes to mind when thinking about tutorials. Its tutorial is insanely long. 5-hour tutorial. The moment you leave the Shrine of Resurrection in Breath of the Wild and see the entire map, you can go anywhere and do anything. This is a perfect example of show, don't tell game design. You have to figure out everything on your own through experimentation, and it's insanely rewarding. There are so many things that you have to figure out in Breath of the Wild, and it's done organically. Like, for example, you have to figure out how to attack, how to die, how to cook food, how to light a fire, how to fall off a cliff, how to drown, and how to get your ass kicked by a stronger opponent. Repeatedly. In Breath of the Wild, the world is your oyster, and how and when you get somewhere, you decide. Not to mention all the cool stuff you find along the way when you're exploring. The whole gameplay experience of Breath of the Wild is so freeing. There's no invisible walls or borders denying you access. You can go anywhere at your own pace. Sometimes the way the invisible walls are dressed up, I swear I'm in a bad version of the Take On Me video by Aha. Oh, that cool thing's just right there, but you can't go to it. So, what's the point of this, and why is it exciting? Well, it leads to
Emergent gameplay.
in Breath of the Wild, you aren't led by the nose, corridor to corridor, or cutscene to cutscene. The game isn't constantly screaming in your face, trying to yell at you at what the fuck it thinks you should be doing.
Fuck you, Paper Mario Origami King, and always trying to tell me what the hell to do.
You can tackle this game's journey in any order and as how fast and as slow as you want.
Yeah, there's a whole story and plot, and honestly, it's pretty good. But there's a whole other story going on in your head as you're exploring the land, encountering people, and kicking the shit out of monsters. I think that's one of the most magical things about Breath of the Wild, is you could talk to different people about their gameplay, and each one will have had a different experience in how they interacted with the world and discovered something. And that's fantastic.
Emergent storytelling is such an important and wonderful piece of tabletop gaming. It's what keeps bringing me back over and over again. It's not the rules, and it's not the story that the GM has outlined. It's the story that happens at the table between you and your friends, and that one person that you don't like. Emergent gameplay is the most thrilling thing for me about tabletop role-playing. When I was playing Breath of the Wild, it really got me pondering about game design for open-world video games and tabletop games. A lot of open-world games have a lot of filler content and padding, missions that are just variations of a theme. I'm going to use Witcher 3 as an example. Its map is huge, it's littered with stuff to do, but it all boils down to pretty much the same thing. Go to the location, kill all the monsters, and destroy the monster's nest, and then you gotta go to a bandit camp where, they're just minding their own business, raping and killing people, and you gotta go kill them all. And then you loot their bodies of a bunch of stuff that you really don't need, and it's just filler crap. And then you sell everything, and then you go do it all over again, and just sell that shit too. And it's all because Geralt needs crack.
Y'all tell anybody I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
I mean alcohol. I mean potions. I mean mutations. I mean fuck it. So anyways, Geralt of Rivia needs lubricant for his next rampaging orgy, so he has to go around everywhere and murder everything to get money. And it's pretty much the same, and I'm not knocking the side quests, because those are actually really fucking good.
I just feel that in a lot of open world games, the dots on the map just really equate to chores. There's no real emergence that comes from exploring. There's no reward. And part of it's because you know what you're running towards. It's already laid out for you. With Breath of the Wild, you just explore, and the stuff that you encounter, especially for the first time, is really magical and mind-blowing. Ooh, who woke me up from my nap? I'm gonna crush you!
It was actually serendipitous that I had started playing Breath of the Wild at the time I did. I had started becoming kind of dissatisfied with gaming mechanics and how I was running my sessions. And while playing the game, it just really got me thinking about what is really necessary at the game table for you and your group to have a great time, and how did I want to convey that. So that's it for part one of my analysis of looking at Breath of the Wild and how it inspired me to rethink game design. Part 2 will be coming out soon. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel, as I will be releasing content as often as I am able. Be well, everyone.